Good morning. Today I'm looking at resin material, page number 4. So it started like Malta Motors is a global manufacturing company that has 52 factories spread across 31 countries. So that means it's elaborate the size of the company. So 52 factories and across 31 countries. So it's an international company. So 52 factories. So we can what we can focus here is we can as I earlier mentioned, we can focus on LAN, local area network information systems, for the information system usage between factories and the offices, and across 31 countries. Again, WAN also, wide area networks can be with limited, okay, or with requirement, system requirement. Each factory mass produces a specific product that may then be shipped to other factories as required. So they are, in this situation, each factory mass produces a specific product. So in this occasion, I can come to a conclusion. It may be operating as strategic business units. And what is the common idea about strategic business unit is they will be given some kind of some sort of autonomy, and from that autonomy the managers are given the task. That means responsibility will be matched with the delegated level of authority level. So they will be given task, okay, some performance achievements, targets and all, okay, and from that means maybe capacity also will be designed. So each factory mass produces a specific product, so they will be given, that means they will at the initial stage they will be forecasting, okay, the production or manufacturing of the each specific this one, okay, because it differs from the end product. So the parts may also vary, each and every thing will not be the same, okay, because the designs may be design specification. As per the design specification, it may be changing. So the factory mass produces a specific product, so according to the need they will be having some forecast for the manufacturing plant and from the manufacturing the procurement will be working, because always already they have given that factory has given the procurement freedom for the procurement decision to take procurement decisions. So something like that. So responsibility will be delegated with the autonomy level given, okay, authority level given, right, and authority will be delegated, okay. For example, all of Malta's petrol engines are manufactured at a factory in Eastland. So they have given a specific example also. So petrol engines are manufactured in factory in Eastland. So they may talk about there may be some problems in that particular region, okay, destination or something in this in that in the some of the occasion they may tell, or they can given in the unseen material about Eastland, and you'll have to have a picture on that, okay. The engine factory's inbound logistics focus on the procurement of engine parts and materials. So what is the logistics focus is the procurement of engine parts and materials. So what is their task is to produce petrol engines. So they will be given the task to only, okay, buy procurement of engine parts and materials. Fine. An internal logistics manages the inventory of parts and materials, supplying the factory when required. So internal logistics means earlier they have specified specified in this pre-seen material. That means from vendor to the factory location to the entity. So the internal logistics manages the inventory of parts and materials and supplying the factory when required. So this is when required. That means it's a centered approach. That means if you buy as bulk or something, then you will be able to product discounts, okay, invent that parts or something, okay, materials or something, you will be entitled for some discounts, okay, and it will help you to manage your there are two ways of buying those things, but mostly credit terms. But anyway, sometimes the suppliers, vendors may be given, will be willing to give some discounts for cash purchases. So if they are good in some of the time, if they manage the uh, or even that mean not solely by full cash payment, that mean credit terms may be a month or something, but if you settle by 2 weeks time or 1 week time or 3 weeks time or something, about a month, okay, if the credit period is given as a month, but they may later on they may offer, if you settle by 2 weeks time, the contract may be legally you may settle by 1 month time credit period, 30 days credit, but if you settle by 15 days or something, we will be giving a discount of early settlement discount of a percentage they may offer, a 2% or whatever, okay. It may be the lending rate at the match with the lending rate, okay, overdraft facility, or their financing, that means vendors financing benefit as well, okay. So if they want some money, okay, on a urgent basis, they may offer something. So usually credit terms and cash terms, but when they are signing, when they have long-term plans or something, they may be offered with credit terms of this period, about a month, 30 days or 15 days or whatever, but this is maybe 45 days even, because it's a automobile industry. So it depends on the industry, but maybe it will be specified, it will be given in the unseen material, but if it is not, okay, it will be given, but you may also refer some of the articles and see what will be the, it's advisable to go through the articles of automobile industry and to check what will be the usual time of credit, okay. And as I mentioned, okay, they may say, they may offer some early settlement discounts if they settle early. So that may be the situation. 2% discount or something they may given or something, that may be early settlement. So this will be working capital management, that means cash flow statement, liquidity management. So they also have some just in time or something, that means they are not investing that much in stock or inventory, that means it's not lying too much of time in warehouses or something. As they can improve by getting the order and starting, and as per the, okay, product orders, okay, whenever they receive the orders they can start, but it may be they may have some inventory, and quickly they can assemble and they can ship. So in this occasion, internal logistics manages the inventory of parts and materials, supplying the factory when required means factory when required means centered, okay, procurement. That means the managers also will be given, managers also will have some sort of expertise in buying the quality parts and materials as well. That means they may have some expertise on the procurement side, and it may help for if there is any discounts available for early settlement or something, that means and product bulk purchases or something. So that may be the idea. And outbound logistics stores completed engines, shipping them to the motor factories that assembles cars. So outbound logistics, that means from the factory to the motor factories that assembles cars. So that means from factories to the assembling point. So assembling point, then it will be delivered to the showrooms. Okay, that means wherever their agents place, those who undertake to sell these cars. Okay, each of Malta's factories has its own logistics systems interacting with third parties and with other factories in the group as appropriate. So Malta's factories own logistics system, that means they have their own fleet of transport as well interacting with third parties. If they want, they may ask some help for third parties, that means contract by contract or terms of delivery transportation with other factories in the group as appropriate. If it as appropriate means if there is a necessity. And Malta's logistics are complicated by the need to ship often heavy and expensive components and assembles between factories. So that is as usual automobile industry. Okay, the components or parts may be very heavy as well. It's very expensive as well. If it is a engine related part or something, automobile part or something, it will be expensive. And if there is a small damage or something, then the rejects, okay, may be a highly expensive for the company. So at this point, okay, what we can understand is quality. Again, the quality checks. Okay, you can start to think about internal quality check and internal quality failures, external failures, something like that. So every time when they are purchasing, okay, they may have to, okay, if it is a raw material or components or something, quality check, okay, and reject. Okay, that means, but anyway, those partners also will be given partnerships on the automobile industries. Maybe they will be working for a long time period. So they will be have mutual understanding of the success stories of the automobile industry. That means if there is any recall, product recall or something, it will be the image, okay, the brand image may go for a question mark, so it is not good. So the vendors also understand that if that in those kind of situation, okay, that mean if this company is successful, only they can supply, okay, because then only they will order. So it's a understanding, that means it's a network and long-term business plan. So mostly they will work together, but anyway the quality check is still there because it makes sure both of their business a successful one. So internal quality checks is very important, and checking points and what criteria to check. And once the quality is checked and confirmed, that means quality passed, okay, it will be moved to the warehouses for storage, and what sort of measures to be taken, and what sort of packaging, what sort of machinery handling, and what sort of expertise, skills levels, transportation required, because then only they know, because of the training provided, they know how to transport and what are the precautionary measures and all. Okay, so they may be interested on, they may be testing on that. And if it is once it goes to the warehouse, and as it is mentioned, it is moves when there is a factory required. So that means from the warehouse, okay, it will be transferred to the factory whenever, if there is a requirement. So so what sort of quantity they are handling, and something like that, it may be briefed in the unseen material or something like that. so batches of production or whatever, okay, maybe something like that. And Maltese cars must then be shipped to dealers in many countries where Maltese cars are sold. So many countries, so that is also there is a complexity involved, because many countries mean there will be some exchange rate between the transaction, because if there is a another country, their currency may be different, so exchange that means exchange gains or losses, or how your currency dollar is appreciating or depreciating over that currency. Is it inflation is going on those countries? Is it stable economically? So those also you will have to be a little concerned. Okay, and we are moving to Murdoch's supermarkets. Murdoch Supermarkets is one of the largest supermarket companies in Roundland. So they are telling that their scale is also very large. It has 1,270 stores and 37 warehouses in the country. So 1,270 stores mean it is a selling point, and 37 warehouses, that mean 37 warehouses, that mean storage places they will keep, and from there they will move. Why 37 warehouses mean? Maybe then only it is easy for their vendors to supply to those points, and if it is too much of distance or something, then the vendors doesn't like to work with this supermarket, but rather there may be other supermarkets. So in a supermarket operation, okay, you will have to manage the stakeholders, and the main stakeholders are the customers. That means your customers will have to have you will have to give the convenient of giving at competitive prices, or giving at quality as well the competitive prices. So if you look at the supermarket in UK most commonly, okay, Tesco, Asda, and Aldi. So and some others also there. So Tesco, Asda, Aldi, something like that. But in these occasions also, some may be okay, quality perspective, they give priority for the quality customers, that means goodwill, and some they balance with quality and price, and some may consider about the convenience stores locations, that means so many locations, but their scale will be limited. Okay, some may be they will choose the locations very carefully, but they will put the supermarkets for a very large extent, that means the large scale of operation. So it depends. So look those, okay, think about those also, the difference between supermarkets and how the difference between each other supermarkets. Okay, and inbound logistics focuses on deliveries by food manufacturers to Murdoch's warehouses, each of which covers a geographical region. Yes. So geographical region means you will have that their vendor points should be nearby your warehouses, because then only it will be convenient for them. Otherwise, it will take that much of time to transport, and their cost also they will look. Okay, so they won't work with they don't like to work with you if you are far away, if your warehouses are far away. Okay, each of which covers a geographical region. Perishable goods such as milk are delivered directly to shop by suppliers. So they will demand the suppliers to straight away deliver to the shops. So 1,270 stores by means of their delivery on vehicles, fleet of transport. Okay, but there may be systems. There may be systems of raising goods received notes or returns and all. Okay, so that is also, that means signed by whom, authoritative. Okay, so who is the approval of getting the stocks and all, it will be there, and what will be the location, that means delivery point and times, okay, of delivery, and everything will be communicated. So that may be through LAN, local area network, or WAN, wide area network. And internal logistics manages inventory at the warehouses and shops. So internal logistics means it's internal. Okay, logistics manages inventory at the warehouses and shops. That means from warehouse point to take it to the shops whenever required. So how many warehouses? That 37 warehouses. 37 warehouses to the 1270 shops. That is internal logistics manages inventory at the warehouses and shops. Maddox uses lorries to replenish shops with goods from its warehouses. So Maddox uses lorries to replenish shops with goods from its warehouses. So usual transport method they are stated here is lorries. So they use lorries to take from warehouse to their stores. Okay, but it's not mentioned that only for the specific stores. Okay, they can from the warehouse they may deliver to one stores, and again they can move to the next one. Okay, that we call route plans. Okay, the way they are transporting, okay, they will decide, and as per the replenishment requirement, and they may, okay, choose to deliver on specific days, or because it's they will have to balance so many things. Okay, that means transport is a cost, that is itself, and second one, the CO2 emission, that is as a responsible organization, they will have to take care about the environment in which they are operating. Okay, they will have to report in their annual reports what is the CO2, that means what is the kilometers they have transported throughout the operation for supermarket operation, and usually what will be the emission level for that transport level, and what are the measures they have taken to reduce the transport. So that may be a good point. And most sales are direct to customers who collect their own goods. That means, as you know, supermarkets in the sense customers in here at I want to stress that, okay, here in UK and here Europe countries, okay, maybe, okay, their own barcoding system, that means they self do their, okay, shopping. That means there will be a basket for scanning the basket items, so basket shopping, and trolley or some other this one rarely they will, okay, scan and do, but some others also they do barcode based, but this is for ASDA or something. That means you have given the chances of your own. That means you will go to the basket counters or trolley shop or something like that, or you will scan your own items and you will pay by your card. But in stores like Aldi, okay, they may be uh, that mean they will scan and they will that the amount will be displayed, and you may display your card on top. That mean it will be collected, or you can give the pin. Okay, you can pin, you can in that machine you can give the pin and you can authorize the payment. So it depends, and Tesco also scanning, so it's also customer individually you can do it. So it's like that. Okay, so most sales are direct to customers who collect their own goods. Some sales are made through the Maddox website. So here in the big you can use as examples. Okay, in here in ASDA, ASDA, okay, the online purchases are there. Okay, you can make the orders and they will deliver to your point. Okay, deliver to your house. Okay, but they may give some if you are ordering above a certain, this one delivery may be a free of charge, or they may a nominal amount they will charge. Okay, so you can match with that. That means they also want to maximize their sales revenue is the key for any any of the organizations successful story, because sales less cost of sales only, it gives gross profit, and from that other expenses if you deduct and come, okay, you will get the net profit. So sales revenue is the key, okay. And again, what sort of market they are having, and market share, and whether they are, what is their strategy, okay. That means, is it what sort of supermarket, okay, because as I mentioned you, okay, there may be supermarkets, they may be located several places around the place, around the geographical locations, and in order to maximize. So some of the other supermarkets may be, okay, they may choose carefully the locations, and they may establish a well established supermarkets to a great extent, that means large. So it depends on, and some may be, okay, very limited, but that means it's a stores and everything, but will be convenient and everything, but it may be their prices may be comparatively high, but comparatively or little high, but you will target income, that means you will target a certain income people. So it depends on, okay, so quality and this one, so that perspective also they can talk about Madoc's website. And so there is an outbound logistics function that handles deliveries to customers home. So as the delivery vans, okay, you can, okay, frequently look at in UK, United Kingdom only CIMA locates. So but that doesn't mean they will only look at the protocol which is working in UK, but other places also. So Roundland or something, that is the area they are referring. So we will have to identify which is the country, okay. So I will guide you later on. So which is the imaginary country they are referring to, right. And moving to page number 5, it's about businesses spend a vast amount on logistics. Logistics means the transport of goods and services, okay, transport of goods, okay. The total cost incurred by Roundlandian businesses for the year ended 31st December 2020 has been estimated at $226.2 billion. So the total cost incurred by Roundlandian businesses, that means total businesses, they are expected to spend for the purposes of logistics 226.2 billion. So that is the scale of logistics is happening. That total can be broken down as follows. So transportation, that logistics, they are breaking down into further categories, and transportation 58%, and administrative 8%, warehousing storage 11%, and inventory carrying 23%. So why transportation 58%? Okay, transportation means logistics. You will have to take, what are the logistics purposes? You will have to take from warehouses to the stores. That is one sort of transport. Or you will have to do logistics from taking from your, okay, inbound logistics, vendors to your point, okay, factory or something, warehouses, okay, locations, or outbound logistics from your point, okay, supermarkets or factory to where the customer point, okay, customer points, okay, maybe if it is a car sales or something, that is, but even delivery, okay, delivery vehicles for supermarket businesses. So that is transportation. So how can you minimize? Okay, you can choose the very convenient, okay, locations for your warehouses and stores. Stores means it should be uh, 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 that means cities or something only. You can't put the stores in a most remote area or something, because there may not be people to buy, okay, or there may not be enough people to make your stores to a successful one. At least, okay, a certain population will have to live, okay, so that may be a story, that may be a reason. So stores, okay, that means the density of population, you can decide, okay, the density of population, residence of density of the population residing factor may be the deciding factor for that one. So stores location. But warehouses, that means warehouses may be the area, okay, that means the rental, or even if it is their own building, okay, opportunity cost, okay, if it is used for other purposes, so that may be the factory or something, okay, so that may be the situation. So it will be a cheap place to build up and to, okay, that means it's not putting your waste or disposing your waste in a friendly manner, environmental friendly. So those things, so these are the logistics transportation purposes. That means you will be your convenient place to for the factory may be, okay, a remote area, and from that where you will have to deliver to your stores, okay, and stores where the highly populated areas, okay, so that means there will be some reasons for logistics, okay, transportation. And administrative 8%. So administrative, you can think about by improving your information systems and information technology, okay, you can try to reduce, okay, that level, okay, certain level from 8% to, okay, improve level of 6% or something, that you can, okay, this one. And warehousing and storage. Warehousing and storage means warehousing and storage, that means as I mentioned, that warehousing is most important, because you will have to keep under good condition, okay, you can't throw here and there, or it should be a systematic place to store, and whenever required, okay, you will have to, it is, okay, highly organized to deliver from that point to your stores, okay. So inventory carrying mean labeling, okay, that means labeling, and at the time of receipt, okay, internal checks, internal quality check and labeling, and movements to the particular location, factory or the some point. So what sort of machineries and everything, so it's inventory carrying, right. And in-house or outsourced. In-house or outsourced, logistics can be managed in-house or outsourced to a contractor. Very few large organizations manage their own logistics, because it is more efficient to outsource to a specialist. As you all know, okay, when you are given the task to a specialist, specialized entities, okay, they may have some expertise on performing their job, because they have performed over a period of time, and they may be, that may be their culture, that means security, that means safe that means safe environment and safe way of doing things, okay, they will be built internally as a culture, because their business even set up based on those internal control. Culture means by practicing over a period of time again and again, and you will start believing this is necessary for the organization. So in that perspective, okay, logistics can be managed in-house or outsourced to a contractor. So in-house also you can, okay, educate your people what is the importance of safe working environment, and what is the accident free environment, and how safe the importance of the transport, and what will be the risk and what will be the benefits or something like that. But training is required, even from shifting from one place to other place in the warehouse, or warehouse to factory, or everywhere, okay, even in your premises or outside the premises, so at the time of receipt, okay, it's like that. So logistics can be managed in-house or outsourced to a, because it may cause damages if if it is not properly dealt, okay, there may be some rejects, that means damages, and then it will be a reject means it's a cost. So that is what logistics can be managed in-house or outsourced to a contract. That means contractor means they are specialized and they will take some extra care, or they know how to handle with the perspective of safe, okay, priority. So very few large organization manage their own logistics, because it is more efficient to outsource to a specialist. Because like insurance, okay, they may be insurance, they may be quoted for some insurance also for product damages, or during their handling of logistics, or even they may given to a third party. Why? The third party may be specialist in handling those kind of logistics, because their primary business is not logistics, but in the supermarket business or this automobile manufacturing. So primary, so in CIMA also we say concentrate on your primary core values. So logistics is part of your business. So if you are not specialized, and if you feel that may be beneficial to outsource, go and outsource it, okay. So specialist, it is possible to outsource some or elements of logistics. So there are ways the businesses can decide some of the things to outsource or most of the things to outsource. So here 1PL, what you mean by PL? First party. 1PL mean first party. A first party logistics provider is a business that manages its own logistics. So 1PL mean, they have mentioned in this table 1PL, a first party logistics provider is a business that manages its own logistics. That means they won't give any task of their logistics to a third party. They will handle from their own. The second one is 2PL. A second party logistics provider handles the transportation element of the flow of goods acting on the instructions of a client. That means they will only outsource the transport of the goods to a third party, but the instruction will be given by this particular client. Okay, the client retains responsibility for managing its logistics. Okay, so they will tell where to pick up, and when to pick up, and where to deliver, and when to deliver, and who will be the gate point. That means gate point or gate numbers and everything, where to deliver, everything, it will be clearly mentioned, and where you will have to give. That's it. That means transportation. And 3PL, a third party logistics provider provides a wide range of services associated with logistics. So logistics means, it doesn't mean that only the transportation, no. So from warehousing goods to their delivery. So delivery means they know how to label, they will undertake some sort of things, and refrigerate, under refrigeration what sort of temperatures to maintain, or warehousing also what distances every pallet should be kept distance from, and what is the machinery, forklift or something machinery to uplift, and which fleet of transport vehicles can be used for the better sake of inventory, and all they also know. So a third party logistics provider provides a wide range of services associated with logistics, from warehousing goods to their delivery. Right. And 4PL, A fourth party logistics provider extends the 3PL model by taking responsibility for the strategy underlying logistics. So underlying strategy, if they are providing a strategy underlying logistics, then 4PL will come. So that means strategy mean they will, that means this business entity will be having a long term relationship and network of working arrangement. In that occasion the 4PL comes. Okay, the fourth party logistics provider extends the 3PL model by taking responsibility for the strategy underlying logistics. So they will come up with the strategies of logistics on behalf of this particular entity for a long term. So this is a common practice in businesses today, okay, in developed countries, because mutual understanding and they work together for the betterment of reducing cost, that means value for money, and for the better understanding of the customers from the point of customers to so vendors to the customer. So everything where efficiency can be, they look at the ways of efficiency improvements and effectiveness of work practices. Right, companies to provide transportation and warehousing. So some 4PL providers employ external 3PL companies to provide transportation and warehousing. So that is there. Most large businesses use some variation of the 3PL arrangement. Most large businesses use some variation of the 3PL arrangement. Most large businesses use some variation of the 3PL arrangement, which potentially offers a number of advantages. So what is the advantages of getting 3PL? 3PL providers offer expertise that can improve the reliability of logistics with reducing cost. 3PL means, as I mentioned earlier, they have the expertise because they have practiced over a period of time and they take it as a culture in the logistics process. So they know how to handle. Okay. So in the internal system itself, okay, the process and procedures itself, everything will be set up very carefully designed. So they are very experts. So logistics while reducing cost. So they will be, because of their expertise will help them to reduce the cost. If you are not expert, okay, try and try method will come into place. But if you are experts, they know, that means by internal process and procedures from their policies and procedures itself lies to make sure there is a smooth, okay, practices, okay, smooth practices, routine practices for the logistics services. So that may itself highly good or highly enough to ensure the success. Okay. And second one, 3PL providers may use their own warehouses and vehicles. So here in this situation, these particular companies may not have that much of warehousing facility or something, but they have grown to a level, that means because of their products may be good or it's welcome by the customers, there is a demand created means, but for that time period they can't accommodate the growth with the phase of growth with the capacity level, that means warehousing and everything. This gives the chance for the entities to choose 3PL providers, because may use their own warehouses and vehicles, because they provide their own warehouses and vehicles, in which case clients need invest in property, plant and equipment. So in these occasions entities may not be required to invest in property, plant and equipment, because they are not having that much of property, plant and equipment. In that occasion they can sign, go for a they can carefully select the third party 3PL. Okay. So third party logistics provider, because careful, why I am using the word careful means if they do mistakes, that may be that can impact on your image. Okay, so when you are choosing, you should be careful. Okay, that means not your own fleet of transport, you are going with a third party and long term, so you'll have to be very careful when you are evaluating and selection process. So 3PL providers can offer flexibility in the event of changing needs. Clients may be able to add or release capacity in response to changing demand. That is also possible because some of the business entities may be okay subject to varying demand due to the climate facts, even climate change also, winter, summer, autumn, something like that. So winter there will be a demand or less demand during winter, or summer there will be a demand. Okay, it's okay, periodical demand. So in this occasion also, the what will be the good choice is 3PL providers, reaching a 3PL provider permanently, because at that time you get the business from there, that means warehousing facilities, and they will serve for you. And non-periodic if there is no demand for your that means if it is not the business time, then you can you may not get their services, or limited, that means limited capacity utilization. Okay, you can go with the arrangements with capacity utilization perspective. 3PL providers can resolve problems affecting the flow of goods without the need to distract clients' management teams. So they can also resolve problem affecting the flow of goods without the need to distract clients' management teams. That means once you outsource your 3PL, that means outsource to a third party 3PL provider, that means they will look after your logistics arrangement, so your management will not be bothered. Okay, only there will be some promises, that means this time we have taken and this time will be delivered to this point or gate number or that destination or your geographical location, something like that. They will continuously work. You can track from your systems, so information systems may help you to, if there is a delay only, you will have to, that means that is also not top management, not necessary. Your autonomy given SBUs, strategic business unit, will be they will contact. So your top management can more concentrate on strategic issues rather than managing the logistics requirement. Okay. So 3PL providers can resolve problems affecting the flow of goods without the need to distract clients' management teams. And 3PL providers can take responsibility for managing legal requirements such as licenses and safety requirements. Some of the times, for logistics perspective, licenses or some safety requirements is required. So for you to, if you are getting and you may be started up a business with a basic license and safety training or something, but you have growing. That means it is very welcome by the customers and you are growing for a phase of growth, maybe very high. And at that time you may be stuck with getting the license for logistics purposes, logistics or safety requirement training. In that occasion, it's very difficult to hire that sort of specialist staff in a short period of time. It's better to reach 3PL providers for contractual arrangements. Those advantages may not always be realized in practice, but these are for theory perspective even, okay? But once come into practice, the change in business is everywhere. That is what we are talking about, change, management. And change is the deciding factor of any business. So you will have to keep watching the business environment, what is changing and what is going according to the plan, and observe. That means observe the changes happening around your business and act act upon that. Okay, act upon that. So those advantages may not always be realized in practice. For example, there can be seasonal variations in demands for storage space, and so 3PL providers may not always be able to offer flexibility at busy times of year. So say for example, we are telling that in this one of the advantages stated that you can go for seasonal demand or something, you can choose 3PL, but the same problem they may also find, because so many people will come during the seasonal time, but sometimes they may be left with their warehouses. So they also in the business of logistics, so they also will have to given the task of maximizing their profit on behalf of their shareholders. So in that occasion, they may be offered with a higher prices than the normal market level. But actually they won't offer, because they know that their warehouses are lying unoccupied. From that also they may put some pricing or something they try to manage, because they also are in the business. Okay, right. Now we are moving to the topic of shared versus dedicated 3PL. Shared means assets can be shared among the users. That means the assets are not belongs to one. Anyone can share whenever required. That is the shared. And dedicated means it's dedicated for one purpose. That means only one can use. Shared resources versus dedicated. Okay, right. So shared versus dedicated 3PL. Some clients negotiate exclusive arrangements for the use of 3PL's resources. Exclusive, that means they can only. So once they have the logistics arrangement with a 3PL provider or something, they may say, okay, I want this much of fleet of transportation vehicles or something, but this much of vehicles, but you should paint our name. Okay, you should paint our business color, and you should mention the vision or mission or whatever, and you should the vehicle should move around, something like that, for the purposes during the purposes of transport. That means some clients negotiate exclusive arrangement for the use of a 3PL's resources. These dedicated arrangements grant exclusive use of specific assets belonging to the 3PL provider. So these dedicated arrangements grant exclusive use. That means only they can use. Exclusive use of specific assets belonging to the 3PL provider. That could mean that a number of vehicles will be painted in the client's colors and will be used on that client's business, or a warehouse could be set aside for the client's exclusive use. So if it is dedicated to a particular company, it may not be used by others. So that means if they ask for 20 vehicles or something, even if they are not using, your drivers will have to wait, something like that. That is the idea. That means if you are sharing, that means the efficiency and effectiveness of your use of the assets is improved as a 3PL provider. But if they are not willing, that means you can't take advantages of sharing your base. That means asset base. Right. Shared arrangements do not guarantee the exclusive use of assets. So shared arrangement do not guarantee the exclusive use of assets. Shared arrangements do not guarantee the exclusive use of assets. So shared arrangements do not guarantee the exclusive use of assets. That means they can't use only for the purpose of this one. The 3PL provider is free to, for example, use a vehicle to carry several part loads for different clients in one trip, because their own fleet of vehicle. So they can decide still if it is painted a particular business entity's names and all, but if they know this capacity is that means when they are transporting a particular road, okay, a road or something, route plan, okay, if it is the capacity utilization by that particular company is only 60% and the 40% is empty, they can still accommodate 40% from other business and they can travel on the same route. Okay, so that is what they are talking about. So shared arrangement do not guarantee the exclusive use of assets. The 3PL provider is free to, for example, use a vehicle to carry several loads for different clients in one trip, or to carry a load for one client on the outward journey between two locations and another load for a different client on the return journey. That means they may go and deliver, but once they are coming free as empty capacity, they can use it for other purposes, because who is managing? Your 3PL logistics provider, so they can decide, okay, carry a load for one client on the outward journey between two locations and another load for a different client on the return journey. A warehouse could also have areas set aside for different clients. A warehouse could also have areas set aside for different clients within the same building. So even in a warehouse also it will be, okay, designated, the warehouse areas will be designated to a particular entity. You can't use those warehouses for other business entities because they have booked and they are paying for that. So same building. Dedicated arrangements may be more cost effective than shared for companies that have high volumes of goods. Dedicated means they are used only for their purposes. So dedicated arrangements may be more cost effective than shared for companies that have high volumes of goods to transport in accordance with a regular schedule, so that vehicles can be kept full. If they are using frequently and if their demanding level of volumes of logistics is high, it's better to go for dedicated, kept full. They may also be beneficial for clients who have specialized needs, such as goods that require specialized storage or transportation arrangements. That is also here. Look at the point, specialized storage. That means it is whenever there is a specialized storage or transportation arrangement. If you are dedicated, if you are going for a 3PL arrangement with dedicated 3PL logistics arrangement, then by stepping into that warehousing, they know this is for used by this particular entity. This is the policy or procedure we always maintain. So that may be, so specialized needs such as so areas set aside different clients within the same building, and effective for companies that have high volumes of goods to transport accordance with the regular schedule, so that vehicles can be kept full. They may also be beneficial for clients who have specialized needs, such as goods that require specialized storage or transportation arrangements. Storage. Logistics management usually requires warehousing or other forms of storage that permit goods to be stored safely until they are required at the next stage of their journey. So logistics management usually requires warehousing or other forms of storage that permit goods to be stored safely until they are required at the next stage of their journey. So maybe if it is kept to this one, okay, you should be distance of your containers or something, or containers, or a standard way of standard boxes or something, okay, you should be kept with defined distance gap. Otherwise, when you are using the forklift or other sort of vehicles for lifting the goods or these load, okay, storage goods or something, it may hit to the other batch of products, and it may be damaged. Okay, it may cause some sort of damages. So that's what logistics management usually requires warehousing or other forms of storage that permits goods to be stored safely until they are required at the next stage of their journey. So until that, it will be kept safely with proper distances and proper packaging and proper labeling, everything. The number, size and location of storage facilities must be decided. So what is the pallet? So what is the number of, and what is the uh, uh, okay, what is the level or something like, and size and location and storage facilities must be decided. Storage sites must be large enough to provide sufficient capacity. So storage site cannot be limited, because if you want some gap or something, then you will have to give some gap. Otherwise, when you are lifting, when you are using forklift or something, it may give some accident. It may cause some accident, or it may lead to some uh, accident and thereby defects, or even human, okay, human casualties. Okay, so it is very dangerous. So storage sites must be large enough to provide sufficient capacity. They must also be accessible to whatever mode or transport will make deliveries or collections. That means 6 feet vehicle or something like that, the long vehicles, then the entrance should be properly designed, and there should be some gates to block and open or something. So whenever the time comes, it will open and that they can come, something like that. Transport will make deliveries or collection. Okay, so they must also be accessible to whatever mode of transport, that means long vehicles or high feet vehicles or length vehicles or something. Transport will make deliveries or collections, whether that be road, rail, sea or air. Locations can also affect transportation cost due to distances between nodes. So here some of the goods may be transported by sea, and then you will have to pick up from road. Okay, then or rail, sea to rail, rail to then road or something. So nodes, the distance between, okay, then that is also okay, that is also decides the, that means so many collection points and transferring points. So it will be a long process. So affect transportation cost due to distances between nodes. And storage facilities must be configured and equipped to handle, storage facilities must be configured and equipped to handle the goods that will flow through them. So storage facilities must be configured and equipped to handle the goods that will flow through them. For example, goods are often carried on wooden pallets so that they can be lifted by forklift trucks. That usually requires warehouses to have loading docks that enable forklifts to drive into cargo trailers when loading or unloading. So what we are talking about, storage facilities must be configured and equipped to handle the goods that will flow through them. For example, goods are often carried on wooden pallets. So wooden pallets only they carry, so that they can be lifted by forklift trucks. If the forklift trucks are going to lift, okay, that means they can't, it is iron. So they can't lift without a pallet, wooden pallet. So it should be kept by wooden pallets, then only the forklift can be used. That is the basic idea they are speaking here. Okay, they are talking about here. That usually requires warehouses to have loading docks that enable, that means enable loading docks that enable forklifts to drive into cargo trailers. So into the cargo trailers, the cargo that forklift should go when loading or unloading. That means to load or unload. That means come to the sea, and if you are taking out, unloading, or if you want to send by sea and you are lifting to the cargo, means it's you are loading. So loading or unloading. The main storage space in the warehouse will then have to permit free and safe movement of forklifts so that pallets can be placed in storage picked for dispatch. So permit free and safe environment of forklifts so that pallets can be placed in storage for picked for dispatch.